Welcome to Karma Conversations once again. It's so wonderful to be back with Elise Bowerman of Sweet Momma. That's your new updated website name, correct?
Yeah, it's a little confusing. I'm still sweetmamayoga.com and it's still technically my business name, but because I'm offering doula services too, I'm trying not to just
Yeah,
respecting that broader term. So Sweet
good.
Mama. Yeah.
I love it. Well, it's all beautiful, Sweet Mama. And wanted to have Elise back today because she's going to be introducing a new class that she's adding on at Karma Yoga starting September 16th. But before we get to that new class, how's it been going with prenatal in the studio?
Amazing. Thank you.
Oh,
Uh,
you're welcome.
yeah, we are off to a solid start. So we started in person back in early May and sold out every session. The moms are ready to be in person, to take care of themselves in pregnancy, to connect with other women, which is invaluable, right? There's no price you can put on
Yes.
seeing other pregnant bodies talking about this phase of life in such a real way. It's been such a blessing during this time, and thank you, Katherine, for opening Karma to this Sweet Mama program.
You're welcome.
It's working.
Yay. How many babies have been born since we started? Any numbers there?
Oh, that's so funny. I don't keep track.
Any
So,
graduates?
yeah, a lot of graduates. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So we're 15 max is the max.
Mhm.
So I mean, probably a good, 30 to 40 have to have been born between then and now.
Isn't that cool?
It's so
Mm.
exciting. So
Oh,
exciting.
great. And that's just ongoing. So if anybody knows of a beautiful pregnant mom that wants to hop on, or you yourself are, they can reach out to you for prenatal yoga as well.
Yes, yeah. September starts on September 9th, the new session.
Okay.
And so we're raring to go again and it's filling up. So now is the time to save your spot for the fall. And I can't believe I'm saying fall out loud,
I
but we're
know.
there.
It's really coming quickly.
It is.
So tell us about the next generation of classes starting on September 16th.
Can I stop you for a second? I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. I think, let me check my watch.
in the record.
So, me time yoga, am I talking about what that's about?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, I'm just going to go like this for
Mhm.
Rob. Me time yoga is just what it means, me time. And it's that deserving time. So many parents, especially, I target women and mothers, of course, but I have a lot of students in the past when I've taught this not be mothers, but they're caregivers or in a caregiving profession,
Mm,
psychologists, that sort of thing, child caregivers.
love that.
Yeah. And because not all the conversations about mother and mothering, it's just about the many hats we wear as women. But me time, especially this class is at night from 7:30 to 8:30. So the agenda and the idea is to decompress from the day, to
Mhm.
reconnect back to the self, to let go of all the effort and all the energy that got you through the day, to come back, to invite a balanced nervous system into
Mhm.
your being, and hopefully leave with a more calm entrance into the evening and sleep ahead.
I like that you have it on Thursday nights. It really piggybacks right after the prenatal class. It's from 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at Karma Yoga in the studio. But I love that it's like on what I call Friday Eve, Thursday night. And it's a great way, don't you think, to, as you said, nourish yourself, wind down the week,
Mm-hmm.
prepare.
Absolutely. And that's a great way to think about it. Really walking into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
with a fresher mindset. And yeah, I guess really going beyond of releasing the day of Thursday, but the week that was brought you to Thursday.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And with so many people still working from home, what I'm hearing with students coming back into the studio, like they're so happy to be back with other people, be back in community. So if you're still working from home quite a bit, this is a really nice outing to look forward to on a Thursday night.
It really is. We're pack animals and we need to socialize to some degree. And the entrance back into society is looking different for everyone. And this can be possibly a gentler way to still have your own space, your bubble and feet apart,
Mhm.
that we're not packing the class. So that's why there's pre-registration. So you have your own space, wind down, decompress. And then that way you're also not just really close to other people's energies too. Because,
Mhm.
so without going too deep into there.
Yeah. I like 15 in the room. It feels still really roomy, don't you think?
Yes, it's like full and roomy at the same time. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we're taking up all this space, and I still have space to spread my arms and legs and, you
Yeah.
know, fully expand.
And you would also probably want these students to bring props, their own props. What would they be?
Yeah, whatever you got. I love props. I love to incorporate them as a teacher. So, whatever you have, we will use. Ideally, starting with a yoga mat, or whatever mat you're most comfortable on. There is
Mm-hmm.
a lot of laying down in this practice. The idea that I have that I plan to deliver, but as anything progresses, things might shift and change. But there will be quite a bit of laying down um, and like mindful embodiment of the yoga practice.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever makes you comfortable laying down, which might be a bolster behind the back and head, or a bolster underneath the knees, or a rolled up blanket underneath the knees, a
Mm-hmm.
folded blanket behind the head. What else could we use?
So would they
Uh,
use blocks or a strap? Should they bring those
yeah,
typical props?
yeah, straps. Um, Maybe. I mean, I'll use right. We'll use them probably
Okay.
some way, but not probably not so often as I'm imagining things. But a block, perhaps, yes.
Mhm. Okay.
Blocks can be helpful, absolutely, because we can always do like yeah. There's different things that we can do with blocks, and if you
Mm-hmm.
have two blocks, great. If you have one block, great too. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but the more, the
And
better in my mind.
and if you don't have them, it's not a problem either, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, we're doing prenatal yoga with just bolsters right now and
Mm-hmm.
no other props, and that has been a learning curve, and we're making it work. And in the beginning, we did it with no props, and that is a challenge. Pregnancy with no props is a
Right.
huge challenge. But we've made it work, and we're resilient humans, and we're figuring it out as we go, and making these practices work without the added bonuses of props. If you have eye pillows, that is
Oh,
really
that's
nice
a nice
touch.
idea.
Yeah, really for
Mhm.
any yoga class at the end,
Right.
if you're laying down on your back for restful shavasana, that's a really nice treat if that feels safe in your practice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love the blanket, especially for a 7:30 at night class. It's really healing and comforting at the end.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Thanks for pointing that out too. Yeah. So I call it cocooning, right? I think a lot of us do as teachers, like wrapping yourself with a blanket while you rest, because as we bring stillness in, we cool down, and this way we can be cocooned and warmed in our own being, literally.
Mhm. And I think you mentioned that you're going to have a lot of focus on core awareness.
Hmm.
What does
Yeah.
that mean? How do you like to focus on that?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. And because there's so many different ways to focus on the core. So, where I'm coming from with this is mostly awareness and getting a connection of the transverse abdominals, which are the deepest layer of the abdominal muscles. They wrap around the low back, and wrap around to the front, like the midline. You can think of the belly button, but they go up and down below the belly button. And they're like our core set muscles that we all have. And then the pelvic floor, which range from the sit bones to sit bone, and all the way from the pubis bones all the way back to the tailbone area. And connecting these group of muscles together with the breath, that's really the foundation of core awareness. There's other parts of the core that we get into in the practice itself, but that's where I'm stemming from. And I did training as a Mutu Pro in 2018. And Mutu System is a program specifically targeted to pregnancy and postpartum women to heal diastasis recti and to help heal or prevent pelvic organ prolapse, and to really create a strong core. And it's something that we truly all need in life throughout the rest of our lives, because gravity's not helping our core. And like this is, we're getting commercialized with ideas that it's okay to like wear Depends or pads the rest of your life.
Like this would be normal or something.
Right. And while it certainly is normal and common, it means that something's not quite functioning all the way correctly. And a lot of times there's something that we can do. We just don't know that it exists. And so in the Me Time classes, I'm looking to help connect the mind with this part of our body that we might not be connected to for many different reasons. And often the most common reason is we didn't even know there were muscles to connect to. And we're starting there. And and then if somebody does have a more in-depth core awareness to their own practice, they can, and I'll be encouraging them to, explore and do what they normally do for their body. Because once you get to know your body, you know the depth and space where you want to be. Just like in a yoga class, like you might see someone who's been practicing for years and knows how to take and explore a posture in a different way than maybe what the instructor might be saying, because they've done it so many times, they can do that and take care of themselves.
Well, I really know, as a woman of 61 almost, and having given birth to 3 children, how important it is to keep that pelvic floor strong, to keep the core strong, because I am turning the corner to maybe that other situation that you were talking about. And I don't believe that's going to be my story because of all my years of body awareness and yoga practices, core work, pelvic floor work in yoga. So it's really a gift to these new moms in their 30s, 40s, maybe 20s, to get them going on recovering, rehabilitating, rehealing these areas after having babies. It's just important.
Yeah, completely. Yes. And I'm so glad you brought that up, just sharing yourself. So thank you for sharing that. Because it's so true. The process of knowing ourselves, our bodies really well, and listening to it and seeing if there's other things that we can do besides just dealing with it or just going right into surgery. And surgery is there because it's necessary and needed.
Sometimes we need Western medicine. Absolutely.
Completely. Yeah. And since I've been out of like the group teaching atmosphere, especially postpartum, during COVID, I've had clients do one-on-ones, and they're in their 50s, 60s, exploring the same things and working the same way as postpartum women do, because this is a lifelong process.
Yeah, I've been teaching a lot lately. It's been my kind of mantra this summer, doing a lot of, like, for instance, hip mobility work and things like that in the pelvis, because for a lot of people in my generation, I'm like, okay, we are not going to be the next generation with walkers, or I really believe that through practices such as yoga, that we can not completely eliminate, but really slow down that process of just our hips shutting down, or our core shutting down, or our pelvic floor losing that. So this is all great work that yoga offers.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's just about exactly what you said, that mobility, being
Mm-hmm.
curious, understanding where your body, where strengthening needs to be made, where relaxing needs to be invited,
Mm-hmm.
and working in those two to find the balance of tension and function.
Yeah. Yeah. So is this only for women, or is this class open for men too? I don't remember.
Yeah. I'm, you know, I'm going to say it's open to anyone. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
of course, I target women, but if there's a partnership, maybe where a woman wants to bring her partner into it, everyone has a core. So
Yeah.
no matter your anatomy, everyone has a core, and so it would be applicable to anyone and everyone. Just kind of who I am and what I'm about. I definitely talk to women more than men, but it
Okay.
doesn't mean that men can't come.
Okay. I wasn't
Right?
sure if it was a women's only class. I thought I wanted to let's get that clear for everybody
Yeah.
who's watching. And what is this what you were talking about? Or are you also including an embodied approach as Amy Matthews teaches? Do you want to talk a little more about that?
Sure. Yeah. Um, One of my great influencers in the yoga practice, besides some other wonderful women, is Amy Matthews, and she's based on the East Coast. And with COVID and lockdown and just staying at home more, I've had the benefit of practicing with her online, where normally I wouldn't be able to access her. And I've practiced
Okay.
with her, and I have her book with Leslie Kavanaugh, Yoga Anatomy, which is a
Right.
great resource. And I believe they are working on a new version, updated version, which will be exciting to come out when that comes out. But going back to Amy's teachings is her business is called Embodied Asana, and she's trained under the body mind centering program with Bonnie Bainbridge Cohen. And it's really developmental, functional movement and mobility ideas for just acknowledging how an individual's body functions well. So, in her approach, the embodiment that we've been practicing and that I'd like to continue to, share my interpretation of her teachings is um, getting deep into the breath and how the breath, it doesn't really leave our lungs, but the
Mm-hmm.
energy of the breath can
Mm-hmm.
carry into our limbs and around us, and seeing how it correlates to, for instance, like the spine. So, like the top of the spine at the back of the mouth, and the bottom of the spine, even the sacrum area, tailbone, and how those two relate to one another, and
Mm-hmm.
getting stability in between that space of the torso and the fluids that run through the spine. And so the practice can be really subtle,
Yeah.
yet very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
From my own personal experience, and especially with stay at home and being gentler on myself and my thoughts and on my body in regards to like a workout yoga practice,
Mm-hmm.
I go to a chiropractor about every month or so, and just doing Amy's practices of once a week, I have felt amazing in my body. It's a little bit softer than I'm used to, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm free of pain. I am functioning well. I feel good and stable and strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I am stable and strong. And my chiropractor even said, he's like, whatever you're doing, he's like, keep doing it because you're holding your adjustment well. And,
Nice.
and I'm just, and I was like, I knew it was working, but getting the affirmation from someone who didn't know I was doing anything different
Yeah.
was really powerful. And just that affirmation of like, this really works. It's really subtle. It's really powerful and exciting. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to explore this in a group setting. I've been doing it one-on-one with
Mm-hmm.
students virtually through stay at home and stuff. So now in a group setting, it'll be really fun to explore.
Well, that'll be great. You're bringing that in. And I can just tell you, over the years of my yoga journey, that's where we all end up anyways. We go from the more physical, gross aspects, and then it's the subtle journey deep within. I mean, we're going from the outside to the inside. So there is a time in our life where we are supposed to be more workout, more intense, more active on the physical body. And then as you stay on this journey for a long time, you end up right where you are, and you just keep getting more subtle and more subtle and more within. But like, it's super powerful. But it takes time for us to realize that and experience that. So what lucky students you're going to have on Thursday nights.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Good. Maybe I could pop in before I head back to Florida.
Please do. It would be such a privilege.
It'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So let's go over the nuts and bolts. It's Me Time Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
It begins Thursday nights, September 16th. It's 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. and 8-week sessions, correct?
6-week sessions.
Oh, sorry. Glad we had the 6-week sessions. Okay.
Yeah. And like towards the end of this year, like I think in November and December, they're a little bit shorter just because of holidays, but then we'll start back up in January with 6-week sessions.
Okay. And how does someone sign up or get more information?
Yeah, they can come to sweetmommayoga.com or through Instagram, and the link is also on Karma Yoga's website too.
Right.
And you can always contact me directly. I'll send you the direct link. And if you have personal questions regarding your own self and ideas and practice, I'm happy to talk and hear what you have to say too.
Thank you. And we'll include all of this information below the video wherever we post it. So, and it is also, if you were in our Mind Body application and you looked on Thursday nights, you'll see it, and it gives you the information to send you to what you just described, your links and your website for registration. Well, I think this is really exciting. Is there anything else you want to add today? I think we really touched upon most of the parts of the class.
Yeah, I think we covered it all. Yeah, it all sounded great. Yeah, the embodiment, the decompressing, core, just getting to the points. And this practice, for those who have practiced with me before, of having a circle time, because it's an hour class, we won't be having circle time. We'll be getting right into the practice itself. So
good to know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not too much talking before or after, but I'm always at the studio earlier teaching prenatal yoga, so you can talk to me before, and then I'm there after until everyone leaves, so we have time to connect.
And that is good, keeping it to an hour, because by the time 8:30 comes around, everybody's kind of ready to get back home and stuff.
Yes, yeah, I think it's a good time to end, and especially in the winter months when the light is shorter. I mean, when I'm at home, 6 o'clock jammies are on. So.
I know. I don't even want to think about that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're not there yet. It's okay.
So I just want to finish with Me Time Yoga is such a great name because it's all about self-care. Self-care yoga. I mean, if we don't take that time for ourselves and we don't think we're that important enough to do that, that's when things snowball, and that's when I call it cranky and spanky and empty, and it's not good. So everybody needs Me Time Yoga.
Thank you. Yeah, 1 hour a week can do a world of wonders.
Sure does.
Mental health.
Sure does. Thanks, Elise, and we'll look forward to your new program.
Thanks, Katherine.